Hello and welcome to my most anticipated games of 2013 list. A lot of you had better brace yourselves because there are a ton of super amazing looking games coming out this year that I am excited about. I didn't number these or arrange them in any specific order, and I must warn you that this list will be slightly more brief than my top games of 2012 list and probably quite a bit less informative. You will however be able to read all about the games below if you're interested. The winners of the giveaway and what they won will be listed in the description below this video as well, so you can check that out too. Now with all of that said and out of the way, the first game I'm going to mention is probably going to be the most obvious one to most of you, and if I had to guess, I'd say that this game would be on top of most people's most anticipated lists. Grand Theft Auto 5. It's a Grand Theft Auto game. I really don't need to say much about this, as I assume you've all seen the trailers and thus know everything there is to know. I hope this sees a release on PC, I really do, because I'd hate to have to play it on console. I mean, I have nothing against console, but I am predominantly a PC gamer. What we've seen of the story of the game seems interesting and a whole lot different than the previous GTAs, which is good. The amount of things we're gonna have access to and be able to do in and around the city of Los Santos seems to be constantly expanding, and, well, the visuals of the game look absolutely amazing as well. I can't wait to just drive around that city and do things. I don't even care what. I'll do anything. I just want to be in that game right the heck now. If you ask me, I think this will be our 2013 game of the year. Next up, another big one, Bioshock Infinite. The Bioshock series doesn't really need an introduction, and the story tied to it has always been one of my favorites. With the drastic changes being made to Infinite's setting, like the fact that instead of being underwater in Rapture, we high up in the sky in the beautiful floating city of Columbia, I can't help but be excited. I am also honestly kind of keen for a slightly more on-rails story-centric experience, and I think Bioshock Infinite will deliver. I really don't need to say anything about the visual style or graphics or anything else like that, because you can see for yourselves it looks absolutely amazing. Added to that, Elizabeth is one of the most interesting characters I've seen in a game for a while. That's it. Now, Starbound and Cube World. These two share spot because they both excite me for the same reasons. Fun and freedom. They are both quite clearly taking inspiration from Minecraft and Terraria, and that's a good thing. Starbound already seems to have way more depth, detail, and appeal than Terraria could have ever had, and Cube World, well, Cube World looks like it'll be a fun Zelda-esque hack-and-slash Minecraft-styled open-worlded multiplayer adventure. Which sounds grand. Both are definite must-plays for me, I can tell you that without a doubt. The fifth game I'm going to talk about is The Last of Us. First off, I realize this is only going to be on PS3, and that doesn't matter to me. Unlike GTA 5, I expected this to be on PS3 and PS3 alone, so I've accepted it. And I do happen to own a PS3, so that's okay. This game is being developed by the same people that brought us the Uncharted series, Naughty Dog, so that alone, to me at least, makes it something worth keeping an eye on, as I loved Uncharted. The Last of Us will be exciting, scary, and no doubt emotional too. And from what I've seen thus far, the gameplay and combat is very smooth and fluid. The acting and voice acting of the characters is incredibly natural looking and sounding, and that is something that means a lot to me. I always look at that when I look at games, and I gotta say that Naughty Dog do seem to have a really good track record with stuff like this, but regardless, it looks and sounds really good. Then what is perhaps the most enticing part, to me at least, the idea and setting behind the game. The entire thing takes place on a post-apocalyptic Earth 2 decades after a fungus of some sort has killed millions and infected countless others. Nature is gradually retaking the abandoned cities and towns while survivors stay in quarantine zones. No more needs to be said. Sign me up for this grand adventure right the heck now. With that done, let's have a talk about Starcraft 2 Heart of the Swarm. A continuation of the Starcraft 2 story featuring my favorite of the races is something I've been waiting for a long time. The multiplayer component of the game could be exciting, and I guess Blizzard All-Stars is something I will keep an eye on too. But who knows, we'll have to wait and see. Either way, I'm kind of keen. Oh, and I also hope it doesn't cost too much. Ultima Forever is the next game on my list. This is set to be a free-to-play, cross-platform, online action RPG based on Ultima 4. Even though we know next to nothing about the game other than what I just mentioned, and have only seen a couple of screenshots and the map, I've been waiting for a new Ultima game, and, well, all my hopes are now pinned on Ultima Forever. Path of Exile could be one game that's going to take up a little bit of my time too. A hardcore and grim action RPG that I've already spent some time playing. It seems like Grinding Gear games keep making this game better and better, and I can't wait to see what they have in store for us for 2013. Later in January, Path of Exile goes into open beta and we get access to the third act. It's going to be exciting. Now Dead Space 3. I like me them scary games, and Dead Space 3 has co-op, so that's great too. I don't know much else about the game, but I do know that I was too terrified to play all the way through Dead Space 1 and 2. I'm gonna break that cycle come Dead Space 3, I promise. I might actually even try get Helene to play it with me, but we'll have to wait and see with that. Here we have the Elder Scrolls Online. I love the Elder Scrolls world and enjoy MMOs if they're done right, so let's hope this one's done right. Now one I feel a lot of people haven't even heard about, which is kind of funny given the name of the game and what it's about. Remember Me. It's a kind of fun looking game where you get to play as a memory hunter that can actually modify people's memories in game. The bit of gameplay and story we've seen thus far looks kind of interesting, and the overall visual style of the game seems kind of cool. That alone is enough to make me want to give it a try when it comes out. Next up, Simcity. It's Simcity, just newer and better. It has multiplayer aspects, the visuals look great, there seem to be a ton of options. I don't really need to say any more. You can't not be excited for Simcity. I realize the list is getting kind of long, but I'm not done yet. Next game is Tomb Raider. I love almost everything Tomb Raider and Lara Croft related, and when it comes with multiplayer, as was recently announced, that just makes it all better. I won't lie, I'm also kind of interested in the dark and mature direction they're taking with this series. I'm not sure if it's gonna work yet, but hey, I still want to play it. Metro Last Light's the next game that I'm talking about, and I hope this game doesn't suck when it comes out. After who knows how long and who knows how many patches, I gotta say that Metro 2033 was actually an amazing experience. Dark, grim, scary, and super tense. If Metro Last Light can deliver some of the same, I'll be happy. This one I don't even want to talk about because of the name, 0x10C. Notch's new game that is apparently inspired by Firefly, Elite, FTL, and Quake, amongst others, seems or sounds like it could be a lot of fun. In theory. I feel we do need to learn a bit more about it before making a call though. I will be keeping my eye on it and no doubt spending most of the year trying to figure out how to pronounce the name too. Next up, Goddess. This is Peter Molyneux's rebirth and reinvention of the god game genre, and let's face it, we all kind of need a good new god game. Let's hope Goddess ends up being just that. One never really knows with Peter Molyneux, but the bit of the game that we've seen thus far looks great. I love the graphic style that they're going for. It does feel a lot like Populous, and I will remain optimistic. I just hope they take the time to make this a proper game and don't try push it out as fast as possible because it's another one of their experiments. As with a lot of the games on the list thus far, we're gonna have to wait and see. Here we have Beyond Two Souls, a psychological and spiritual thriller on the PS3 with Ellen Page in the lead role. That's it, moving on. I've got a thing for Ellen Page and that's all the reason I need to look forward to this one. Amnesia Machine for Pigs is the next game I regrettably have to put on my list. I only recently played the first Amnesia and I kind of enjoyed doing so. Although it was terrifying and I nearly died of heart attacks multiple times while playing it, I still had a great time. This has machines and pigs crossed with humans, pigumans, humigs. It doesn't get more frightening than that. Although I feel a lot of people might not like this one because every single YouTuber out there is going to be playing it. Is that a reason not to like it? I don't know. Don't Starve is the last one that I'm going to mention here. I think it's still in beta right now. It's a fun looking open world survival game with a pretty cool art style that reminds me of Nightmare Before Christmas, and it was made by the same guys that made Mark of the Ninja, so that is a definite bonus. I may actually be doing an adventure-worthy episode on this game within the next couple of days, so stay tuned for that. Now a couple of games I am super interested in that might not be out in 2013. Star Citizen, Elite Dangerous, Prey 2, Beyond Good and Evil 2, Watch Dogs, Dreamfall Chapters, Cyberpunk 2077, Project Eternity, Mass Effect 4, Thief 4, and Dragon Age 3. That's it. That's my entire list. Be sure to let me know if you think I missed something that really deserves to be on it, and let me know what you're most looking forward to in 2013. Also, I will again mention that the giveaway winners have been listed below along with the prizes that they won, and I have messaged each and every single one of them to let them know. Enjoy. Most importantly though, happy waiting for all these super amazing looking games. Happy that.